Friends, Cherie here. Welcome back to the channel, Gardening at Home with Cherie. Well, we are back in the indoor garden, about to start some more seeds, and I decided to bring you along for this one. We have 9 varieties of greens and herbs, we'll call it, that we're going to start. All right, let me get these containers filled with soil, and we'll start sowing some seeds. We'll do a quick journaling of the moringa tree. She's still growing and putting on new leaves. Yeah, she's been pretty low maintenance so far. We'll see how long I can keep her alive. I'm so tempted to take off one of the leaves to taste them, but I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Okay, friends, so I got my labels ready. Soil is all in our containers. And first up, we're gonna start some seeds for the Italico Arosa dandelion. If we look on the back here, it says a gourmet Italian chicory, beautiful red stems, deep green leaves. Baby leaves are tangy in salads or cooked for greens. And here's what the seeds look like. So I'm sowing these pretty densely so I can harvest some as baby greens, and then I will leave some in to get a bit bigger. Next, we're gonna do some Chinese leeks. I have this big package here. I'm gonna just be sprinkling these throughout the garden in pots once it's time to sow seeds outdoors. But we're gonna start some, and I probably will start some of these to grow in a larger container also. This is just something I like to have to incorporate into my soups and things like that throughout the winter. And I did not preserve a lot of chives, and so that's something I could do too, is grow these, and as they grow indoors, preserve some. Okay, next up we're gonna do some Giant of Italy parsley, and same thing. This is yet another one that I really want to get a lot of growing outdoors this year so that I can preserve a lot. I'm kind of running low on my homegrown preserved parsley. Parsley is something that honestly I typically use fresh, but I freeze dried some, and it's fantastic freeze dried. And so now I want to have more. I want to freeze dry a bunch. If you don't have a freeze dryer, you of course can dehydrate it. But the freshness with the freeze drying was incredible. So hopefully I'll be successful with that. Next up is one of my favorites, leaf fennel. And I love fennel in salads, and the leaf fennel is just excellent substitute for growing the big bulbs. And they look like regular fennel seeds, but we will be harvesting the leaves and using those in soups and salads. They smell so good. Oh, I forgot to do a label for that one. Hold on. Okay, next we're gonna do some cutting celery. This is another one I love to grow. It'll grow quickly, and I don't have to wait for, the big celery stalks, which are delicious, but I can enjoy that same flavor just with celery leaves. Oh, that smells so good too. All right, next we're going to do red perilla. This here is a really beautiful, it's a leafy green. I would call it kind of an herb. It says here, known by many names including shiso and beefsteak, this member of the mint family is widely used in Asian cuisine. Perilla's subtle and complex herby flavor has hints of citrus, anise, basil, and spices. Sow and grow similar to basil. And so this was one of those things that I played around with my very first garden season here in 2020. And it was one of the first things that, grew in early spring. And it's a very interesting and beautiful color. And I added some to some pickled vegetables that I did. It gives it a really beautiful color. Yeah. And flavor, of course, but it's really pretty. So that's that. And I have more of these, and I think I also have a green perilla, a red and a green pack from, I think Baker's Creek sells it too. I'm pretty sure that's where my other ones are from. Here's another beautiful Asian green that I love to grow in spring in the garden. It bolts once it gets hot, at least in my garden, and then it comes back in fall for me. And I've never preserved any of this, so maybe I'll see how quickly it grows indoors, and maybe I can do a tray and let it grow so I can preserve some. It says here on the back, a delicious and ornamental Mizuna from Japan. The stems of this variety are a purple-pink hue, which indicates a high level of antioxidants. And for planting instructions, it says it's tolerant of heat and frost, but best planted in cool spring or fall conditions. Yeah, for me, like I said, it bolts and dies back when it gets too hot, and then it kind of reemerges once the heat of the summer dies off. And so, yeah, and I should say all of these things that I'm sowing now, I've grown before outdoors, right? As I said, and I've always direct seed sown them. I usually don't, start these as starts. I usually these are like the first things that I can sprinkle out in the garden come May, and have some stuff growing, and they grow pretty quickly. So that is the pink Mizuna. I also have a green Mizuna. If we look at the back here, it says fast-growing heirloom variety produces large quantities of glossy green serrated leaves with a mild yet slightly spicy flavor. Excellent for use in spring salad mixes. Vigorous, cold-hardy plants rebound after repeated cutting late into the fall. Well suited for cold frames, 30 to 45 days to harvest. And so, yeah, that is quite descriptive of my experience. It grows very quickly in spring. You can enjoy it till it gets hot, and then you enjoy it again in fall. And these are in the brassica family, so they just, the seeds just look like, your broccolis and your kales and collards and stuff. So yeah, part of it too is as my microgreens grow, I can snip off bits of these different things just to change the flavors. And I love to cook Asian cuisine, so I'll have some fresh in my kitchen garden growing. And then the final thing we're going to sow in this seed sowing session is another Mizuna. It's called Benigoromo. It's beautiful. It says here on the back, the serrated crimson leaves get their color from anthocyanin, a polyphenol known for its health benefits. Enjoy the crisp, mildly mustardy leaves of Benigoromo raw in salads. Their color intensifies when grown in fall. So yeah, I have never grown this one before. I bought this last year, but I didn't sow it. So I'll be excited to test this one out. It says here tolerant of heat and frost, but best planted in cool spring or fall conditions. So that'll be interesting. Test that out. I'm excited to test that out outdoors. But I get antsy, and I love to be able to test things out indoors. And also, as I've said in lots of videos, for me, it gives me a chance to just observe things a little bit more. Because when I grow so many different things, and I pack my beds with so many different crops. And so sometimes, you don't really have all the time to kind of observe the growth, right? Next thing you know, things are ready to harvest. And so I do get to enjoy watching the growth a little bit closer individually as I grow these out indoors. So I'm going to get these covered in soil off camera like I have been doing. I'm going to get these on the shelf, and we'll be back soon with an update. I'll see you again here soon for some more seed sowing. Take good care. Bye.